In the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, even the brightest stars have their shadows. Join us as we delve into the untold stories and hidden rivalries of television's golden era. The legacy of Johnny Carson, king of late-night television. For decades, Johnny Carson reigned supreme as the face of late-night television, taking the helm of The Tonight Show in 1962. Carson swiftly became an emblematic figure, celebrated for his sharp wit, genial demeanor, and knack for connecting with viewers night after night. Yet beneath the polished veneer of this television titan lies a tapestry of complexities, contradictions, and controversies. While shaping the late-night landscape and crafting a legacy that remains unrivaled, Carson's relationships, both personal and professional, punctuated his journey, painting a fuller picture of the man behind the desk. Born in Iowa in 1925, Carson's early flair for performance manifested in magic tricks, leading him to perform as the Great Carsoni during his teenage years. This budding talent would ultimately provide the foundation upon which a formidable entertainment empire would be built. In the years leading up to his appointment on The Tonight Show, Carson explored various facets of the entertainment world. Radio gigs, comedy writing, and smaller television roles characterized his early career. However, it wasn't until October 1st, 1962, that America would truly be introduced to Johnny Carson, the television luminary, taking over from Jack Paar. Carson brought a freshness to The Tonight Show. His monologues satirized the contemporary socio-political climate, his interviews balanced depth with humor, and his skits became legendary. It was this combination that ingratiated him with the American public, making late-night television a staple for millions. As the years progressed, Carson's influence in shaping the late-night talk show genre became evident. He was a trendsetter, seamlessly intertwining comedy and current affairs. The show's format, including the opening monologue followed by guest interviews and musical performances, would set the standard for future late-night shows. Future hosts, from Jay Leno to Conan O'Brien, would look to Carson as the benchmark, each trying to capture the magic he effortlessly exuded night after night. Yet, for all his brilliance on-screen and off-screen, Carson was an enigma. He cultivated a public image that was affable and relatable, the quintessential guy next door, America's companion for the late-night hours. Viewers invited him into their homes, entrusting him with the wrap-up of their day. To them, he was a beacon of consistency in an ever-changing world. Tragic loss and romantic liaisons. The tragic loss of Rick in a car accident in 1991 was a devastating blow to Carson, a pain that he largely bore in silence away from the probing eyes of the public. Parallel to the challenges with Rick was the story of Carson's romantic liaisons. Johnny Carson walked down the aisle 4 times in his lifetime, each marriage bringing its own set of joys, challenges, and lessons. However, it was his relationship with his 4th wife, Alexis Moz, that truly tested the bounds of Carson's emotional resilience. Their union, while passionate and intense, was also fraught with volatility. Moz, a vivacious and independent spirit, often found herself at odds with Carson's more private and reclusive nature. Their disagreements were legendary, making headlines and becoming fodder for tabloid gossip. Johnny Carson's undeniable impact on American television culture is evident even years after his retirement. The allure of his persona, both public and private, continues to intrigue. While he made millions laugh with his timely quips and signature sketches, the layers of Carson's personality remind us that every icon has a story. Behind the incandescent glow of the television screen, away from the rapturous applause of adoring fans, Johnny Carson's personal life was a tableau of complex relationships, each adding another shade to the intricate mosaic of his life. Arguably one of the most poignant relationships in Carson's life was with his son Rick. The father-son dynamic was punctuated by bouts of distance and misunderstanding. Rick, ever in search of his own identity, often grappled with the overpowering shadow of his father's fame. For 30 years, Johnny Carson tucked us in, and we lay in the dark, a blend of light and shadow that crafted his legacy. For Carson, this intricate blend made him not just a television host, but the undisputed king of late-night television. Navigating personal relationships. The dynamics of Johnny Carson's relationships were intricate. While Carson sought solace in the sanctity of his home, away from the ceaseless demands of show business, his fourth wife, Alexis Moss, yearned for the glitz and glamour, the very world that Carson often found stifling. This fundamental difference in their perspectives often led to heated disagreements, casting a shadow over their shared moments of joy and companionship. In understanding Johnny Carson's personal struggles and family ties, we are reminded that behind every spotlight there's a shadow, behind every laugh a tear, and behind every public persona a myriad of personal stories, each adding depth and dimension to the legend. Carson's personal journey, while less publicized, is as integral to his legacy as his contributions to television. It serves as a poignant reminder that every icon, no matter how celebrated, carries with them a tapestry of personal stories, each thread adding to the richness of their narrative. One of the most heartbreaking chapters of Carson's life was his relationship with his son, Rick. Being the son of an icon isn't easy, and Rick, from a young age, faced the dual challenges of living up to an enormous legacy and finding his own individual path. While many saw Johnny Carson, the charismatic television host, very few knew of the father who grappled with connecting with a son drifting further away. Their bond, once unbreakable in Rick's youth, faced strains as they navigated the pressures of fame and personal challenges. The tragic accident in 1991 that took Rick's life was an unspeakable agony for Carson. Away from the cameras and the limelight, he mourned the loss of a piece of his heart, a pain that he never truly recovered from. In the realm of romance, Carson's life was marked by passionate highs and tumultuous lows. His 4 marriages were a testament to his search for companionship and love, even as he grappled with the demands of his overwhelming career. Each marriage told its own story, but it was with his 4th wife, Alexis Moss, that the narrative reached its most feverish pitch. Alexis, with her vivacious energy and zest for life, was both Carson's anchor and storm. Their love was passionate, intense, and at times tempestuous. She represented a world Carson both loved and felt overwhelmed by, one of glamour, spotlight, and ceaseless attention. While Carson cherished his privacy and moments of solitude, Alexis thrived in the social sphere. Their differing worldviews and temperaments often led to clashes, making their relationship as fiery as it was affectionate. The media, ever hungry for tales from Carson's personal life, latched onto their spats and disagreements, magnifying them for the public eye. Carson's narrative, punctuated by moments of joy, sorrow, love, and loss, is a testament to the universality of human experiences. The battle with addiction, Johnny Carson's personal struggle. It reminds us that beneath the facade of fame and success lies a heart that beats with the same hopes, dreams, and fears as any other. Battles with addiction are not uncommon in the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. Despite his impeccable comedic timing and unmatched command of the late-night stage, Johnny Carson faced his own battles, particularly with alcohol. His affinity for drink was not just a simple penchant for the occasional indulgence. It was a battle with addiction that significantly impacted both his personal and professional spheres. The signs were often subtle. An off night where Carson seemed slightly more inebriated than the situation called for, or a moment of slurred speech during a monologue, quickly dismissed as mere fatigue. But as the years wore on, these moments became more frequent, signaling to those close to him that the issue was growing in magnitude. The charm and wit that Carson wielded so effortlessly were sometimes overshadowed by the haze of alcohol, creating a juxtaposition between the television icon America loved and the man struggling behind the scenes. The impacts on his personal life were profound. Intimate relationships bore the brunt of his erratic behavior, fueled by alcohol. Disagreements with Alexis Moss and other loved ones often took on a heightened intensity after Carson had been drinking, leading to discord that could have been avoided in sobriety. There were times when the drinking served as an escape, a refuge from the mounting pressures of fame, personal tragedies, and the weight of expectation. But the refuge was often illusory, and the morning after would bring with it a sense of regret and the realization of the toll it was taking on his life. Navigating professional challenges, Johnny Carson struggles with addiction. A fresh set of challenges emerged professionally for Carson's team, often finding themselves walking on eggshells and trying to navigate around his unpredictable behavior due to intoxication. There were days when scripts had to be altered or guests prepped differently based on Carson's condition. The impeccable machine that was The Tonight Show had its cogs tested by its very leader. Yet, for all the challenges, Carson's charisma and talent were undeniable. The show persisted, and the audience, mostly unaware of the depth of his struggles, remained loyal. Lessons from Carson's journey. In the story of Johnny Carson, the battles with addiction stand as a stark reminder of the fragility of the human spirit. Even in those we elevate to iconic status, it underscores the universality of personal struggles, proving that no amount of fame or success can shield one from the challenges that life often throws. In Carson's journey, there's a lesson about the strength of character, the vulnerability of humanity, and the undying hope for better days. Marriage scandals and rumors. In the era of late-night television, when Johnny Carson reigned supreme, off-screen tales often carried a magnetism equal to the on-air spectacles. Among the more sensational narratives surrounding Carson were whispers of infidelity and rumors that threatened to overshadow his on-screen persona. Two names in particular, Angel Tompkins and Joanne Copeland, came to dominate the scandalous chronicles of Carson's marital life. Angel Tompkins and the tabloid frenzy. Angel Tompkins, the alluring Playboy model, became a significant figure in the maelstrom of rumors. Allegedly, the two shared an illicit relationship, a secret that the tabloids pounced on with voracious enthusiasm, though both Carson and Tompkins. Exploring Carson's comedic style, the fine line between humor and controversy. As an iconic host, audiences reveled in Johnny Carson's comedic genius, often characterized by off-the-cuff remarks and playful banter. Yet beneath the surface of chuckles and applause lay moments where Carson's sense of humor skirted the boundaries of acceptability, eliciting more than just a few raised eyebrows. Among the more notorious hallmarks of Carson's comedic style was his penchant for fat jokes. To modern audiences, these might seem at odds with the more sensitive, politically correct humor that is now the norm. However, they were a staple delivered with his characteristic suaveness. These jokes often targeted the rodent, sometimes even celebrities. The hefty actor Raymond Burr was among those who found themselves at the receiving end of Carson's sharp wit. Burr, best known for his roles in Perry Mason and Ironside, was not one to take such barbs lightly. Known for his serious demeanor and no-nonsense attitude, Burr didn't find Carson's jibes amusing. On one fateful night after a particularly biting jest from Carson, Burr canceled his scheduled appearance on The Tonight Show, making a statement not just about that singular joke, but about a broader pattern of humor that he felt was demeaning. Burr wasn't an isolated case. Other celebrities too bristled at Carson's brand of humor, feeling it teetered more towards mockery than lighthearted fun. Reflections on Carson's legacy. Such instances brought to the fore a dichotomy in Carson's personality. The charismatic host whose infectious laughter filled living rooms across America, juxtaposed with the comedian whose humor sometimes hit below the belt. In reflecting on Carson's legacy, it's essential to remember that while his humor brought joy to millions, it also rankled a few. Such is the nature of comedy. What one finds hilarious, another might deem hurtful. Carson's career, with its dizzying highs and occasional lows, serves as a poignant reminder of the tightrope that comedians walk, striving to elicit laughter while hoping not to offend. Johnny Carson's influence and appeal extended far beyond the realms of television. His reach, both in terms of personal connections and aspirations, saw him vying for a piece of the illustrious. The Aladdin Hotel and Casino feud, Johnny Carson versus Wayne Newton. Johnny Carson's ambitions in the Las Vegas real estate scene center on one particular gem, the Aladdin Hotel and Casino. Yet what seemed like a straightforward venture rapidly spiraled into one of the most sensational and publicized feuds of its time, bringing him head-to-head with Wayne Newton, the iconic Las Vegas entertainer. It all began in the early 1980s, when Carson, in partnership with others, eyed the Aladdin as a potential investment. Las Vegas, with its glittering skyline and allure of entertainment, was a perfect fit for someone of Carson's stature. The Aladdin, with its storied past and potential for rejuvenation, seemed like the ideal acquisition. However, things did not go as smoothly as Carson might have anticipated. A series of complex financial dealings and negotiations unfolded, leading to an unexpected outcome. Wayne Newton, in partnership with Ed Torres, managed to outbid Carson and clinch the property. The events surrounding the sale might have been business as usual in the high-stakes world of real estate, but what followed was anything but ordinary. Rumors began to circulate, suggesting Carson was not just upset about losing the bid, but that he harbored personal resentments against Newton. The Tonight Show began to feature jokes aimed at Newton, suggesting he had mob connections or poking fun at his wholesome image. To the public, it appeared that Carson's comedic platform was being used for personal vendettas. The confrontation: Wayne Newton versus Johnny Carson. Wayne Newton, revered by many for his long-standing Las Vegas residencies and his Mr. Las Vegas moniker, wasn't one to back down. The hints of mockery and the alleged behind-the-scenes tension culminated in a face-to-face confrontation. Newton visited Carson at NBC Studios, warning him to end the insinuations and jests. According to Newton, he let Carson know in no uncertain terms that the continued jabs were unwelcome. The Carson-Newton affair serves as a stark reminder that celebrities, despite their polished exteriors, are prone to the same passions, jealousies, and misjudgments as anyone else. The difference, however, is that their battles play out on a grand stage, scrutinized and dissected by an eager public hungry for drama and intrigue. Network family feuds. In the ever-evolving world of television, with its high-stakes ratings wars and constant pressure to innovate, conflicts between personalities are almost inevitable. Within the hallowed halls of NBC, Johnny Carson was no stranger to this. His long and storied career on the network brought with it a series of disagreements and rivalries with other prominent figures on the airwaves, lending insight into the complexities of navigating relationships within the family of network television. One of Carson's most noted tiffs was with fellow broadcaster Tom Snyder. Snyder, who hosted Tomorrow with Tom Snyder following Carson's Tonight Show, had a dramatically different style. Where Carson was smooth and often reserved, Snyder was more direct, occasionally confrontational, and less concerned with adhering to the traditional norms of late-night chat. As a result, friction emerged between the two. Carson often felt that Snyder's approach was at odds with the tone he had set, and he was not shy about communicating these feelings, both privately and occasionally in his monologues. However, more personal than professional disputes arose when some of Carson's longtime guests began branching out on their own. John Davidson, a frequent guest on The Tonight Show, was one such personality. Davidson, with his charismatic charm, was a favorite among viewers. But when he began hosting his own show, there were whispers of Carson's displeasure. Davidson's show, a direct competitor, was seen by some as a move of disloyalty. While Carson never overtly disparaged Davidson, those in industry circles perceived a cooling in their once warm rapport. These network skirmishes shed light on the intricacies of show business, where the lines between friendships and business are often blurred. For Carson, a man of immense talent but also deeply held principles, perceived slights and professional rivalries were not just water-cooler talk. The Carson-Rivers feud, a cautionary tale of fame. The entertainment industry is no stranger to feuds and controversies, but few have been as poignant and long-lasting as the one that unfolded between Johnny Carson and Joan Rivers. What began as a partnership built on humor, trust, and professional camaraderie eventually devolved into a rift that would forever alter their relationship, laying bare the complexities of loyalty, ambition, and the dynamics of power in show business. Their connection was forged on the stages of comedy clubs and television studios. Joan Rivers, a rising star known for her sharp wit and audacious humor, was a regular guest host on The Tonight Show. She was the perfect foil to Carson's suave demeanor, and their chemistry was undeniable. Rivers' appearances on the show helped catapult her career, and she often referred to Carson as her mentor and champion. The feud escalated further as Rivers' new show directly competed with The Tonight Show. Carson felt blindsided, viewing her decision as a breach of loyalty. He believed that their shared history and the platform he had provided her should have warranted a greater sense of respect and transparency. The result was a long-standing rift that persisted until Carson's passing. What exacerbated the division was Rivers' assertion that Carson had played a role in her being banned from The Tonight Show during his tenure. Rivers claimed that Carson's resentment towards her success led him to deliberately hinder her career. Carson, though never explicitly admitting to such actions, did concede that he was hurt by Rivers' move to Fox without prior communication. This assertion only deepened the wedge between them, adding a layer of personal betrayal to an already strained relationship. The rift between Rivers and Carson is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the thin line that separates professional ambition from personal integrity. Their story highlights the ways in which the pursuit of success in show business can sometimes erode the foundations of trust and friendship. Carson's hurt and Rivers' determination to forge her own path led to a chasm that neither of them could bridge. In retrospect, their feud serves as a testament to the intricacies of human relationships in the world of fame, underscoring the fragile nature of trust and the potential for misunderstanding to evolve into long-standing enmity. While both Carson and Rivers left an indelible mark on the world of entertainment, their story is a reminder that even in the realm of laughter and applause, the echoes of discord can resonate for years to come. As the curtains draw to a close, we glimpse the complex tapestry of human relationships that lies beneath the surface of fame. Join us again for more insights into the lives of the icons who shaped our world. Until next time, stay curious.